Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Eric Nelson. I'd like to start off this presentation by going over this email that was going out a while ago. Has everyone here seen this? For the most part? Alright, the big thing here is that it says it doesn't matter in what order the letters in the word are. The only important thing is that the first and the last letter be in the right place. So, like I said, it went viral over email a couple years ago. And there are a couple problems with this if you've looked into it. But the main thing I want you to get out of it is that your brain works differently than you think it does. So, So there's different ways that you can go about this. Obviously, your brain's a huge part of who you are. So you can go over, how to learn better. You can go over how to read better, faster, more efficiently. We're going to talk about memory. So, first off, let's talk about why you should care about memory. Why it's important. So we're going to kind of focus on who we are as a class. So there's us, we're students, and we're trying to be leaders. So with that in mind, as students, it'll help you remember assignments. Those days when you run into class and you realize, oh, I didn't do that homework assignment. Or, facts and figures, vocabulary words. I know I was always terrible at learning vocabulary words in Spanish and English class too. And also as leaders, so I don't know if you've ever heard this, but a person's favorite word is their name. It makes you feel happy, it makes you feel relaxed. So if you remember people's names, it shows compassion, it shows confidence. So again, it's really important. It helps you remember tasks similar to the assignments I was talking about earlier, and it also helps you remember promises that you have for people. And that in turn allows your people to trust you. So let's kind of go over, let's kind of think back to elementary school, the concepts that you learned in elementary school. So let's think of simple things like, what year did Columbus sail the ocean blue? It's 1492, right? We all remember because of that song we all sang in first grade or kindergarten. The musical notes. All the notes that are on the lines, it's an acronym for every good board does fine. Or the ones in between, face. That's how I remember it. I'm sure a lot of you remember it that way too. So, the way us, for the most part as people, where we're wrong, is we think repetition is the best way to go about it. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Eventually it'll work. But if you sit there, and I know I used to do this, 10 minutes before class, I have a vocabulary quiz in Spanish. I'm sitting there, list of 20 words, 20 definitions, I just read it over and over to myself. Never worked, didn't do too well in those quizzes. And we also think writing things down repeatedly doesn't works really well. And again, I'm not saying it doesn't work, it's just not the best way to go about it. So, the way I want you all to think about this is imagine your head, a huge cluster like that. A bunch of different things that you remember. And you suddenly have to remember one specific thing. So, you have to search through this huge pile of all these memories and you gotta find out one specific memory. Or if you took a book and I told you to look for the word space in the book, you wouldn't know where that word is because it's just a bunch of words put together to make that book. Or if I told you to count from 1 to 300, but you can't go in order, so you go 65, 2, 283, kind of mix up the numbers there. So, the way memory works, the way I'm going to teach you, is it has to be a systematic system, kind of like a dictionary. So you remember the alphabet, A through Z, we all learned it in nursery school, whatever you call it. And with that, you can find words easier than if you were looking for the random word in a random book. Or if I told you to count from 1 to 300, like I said earlier, it'd be a lot easier to count in order. Systematic system. So, we'll go through an example. So here's a list of things I had to do the other day. So I had to clip my nails, go to the ATM, buy a birthday card, work out, eat lunch, call for a dentist appointment, take an online quiz, shower, borrow books from the library, and do laundry. Alright, that's 10 things on the list to do. And I don't know about all of you guys, but me personally, I would not remember that. I could look over and over again. I'd probably remember 4 to 5. Okay? So anyone think they could need to get all of them right now. Alright, so we're going to use a system called body anchor method. And there's many systems out there, but this one I've found personally to work really well. And what you basically do is you use the body part and put that together with what you have to do. So, for example, so the first thing you have, you're going to connect it to your head. Second thing, your nose. Third, ear. Fourth, neck. Fifth will be your shoulders. Sixth will be your elbow. Seventh will be your thumb. Eighth will be your waist. Ninth will be your knees. And 10th will be your feet. Alright, so let's do that with the list. So clip your nails. And you have to think of something ridiculous. So think of cutting your hair with nail clippers. Alright, so that's going to be how you remember the first thing. Second thing, go to the ATM. So that connects with your nose. So imagine taking money out of your nose. Or whatever works for you all. Alright? Number 3, buy a birthday card. Maybe imagine your ears flapping, kind of like a birthday card. So they close and open. 4th, work out. So that's going to be your neck. Maybe imagine like Frankenstein, so you have a little dumbbell stuck in your neck. 5, eat lunch, so that's your shoulders. So maybe imagine your shoulders like a table and you're eating food off your shoulders. 6 is the dentist appointment. Elbow. Maybe imagine just teeth sticking into your elbow. It's a good enough image. Take an online quiz, that's your thumb. So maybe imagine a Scantron and you're filling out the Scantron with thumbprints. Number 8 is the shower, so it's your waist. Maybe imagine the shower curtain coming down, wearing a shower curtain skirt. 9, borrow books from the library with your knee, something. Imagine your knee closes, kind of like a book. Imagine your leg's a book, so that's your knee right there. And 10, do laundry. It's your feet. Maybe you're there in the washing machine and you use your foot to twist it around. Alright, so you have to do something ridiculous to help you remember. So is anyone think they could go through and remember it now? So let's see. Number 1 was head. So what was that? No clippers. Number 2 is nose. ATM. Yep, ATM. 3. Birthday card. 4. Neck. Workout. 5. Shoulders. Yep. 6. Elbows. Dentist. 7. Thumb. So take the quiz. 8. Your waist. Shower. 9. Your knee. Library book. And number 10. Your feet. Alright, there you go. So there you go. You remember 10 things just like that. Alright? Great job. So here are a couple of other methods you have. I'm going to go over real quickly. I'm not going to go over extensively. But you can remember numbers by words that rhyme with them and kind of picture what it rhymes with. Or you could kind of go through each number. And so like the first thing you connect with something that rhymes with 1. Numbers and shapes, that's where you kind of imagine things in systematic order with something that's shaped like the number. So maybe 1, you have a shape like a rocket, so you connect it with a rocket. The phonetic alphabet, this is super complicated. I can't really figure it out, but I feel like once you do, basically you read words, not by individual letters, but you read it all the way through, correct? And then you have, let's say you have a number with 6 digits. Obviously you read them 1 number at a time. You don't read the whole thing as a word, kind of. So what it does is it connects different sounds with different numbers. You connect those to make words. Again, it takes a lot of time to figure it out, but once you do, I'm sure it works really well. I've never been able to. I tried for a bit. Linking. So this is about as simple as it gets. Let's say you have a presentation. You can remember different parts of the presentation by connecting one exaggerated visual image in your head with the next visual image. So let's say you have something you're going to talk about first, you connect that with something, connect that with the next thing. And then from that second thing, connect that with the third. And then from the third to the fourth. So instead of remembering everything at once, you're remembering from each thing connects to the next thing. And each thing triggers your memory for the next thing. Names. This is what I talked about earlier. So with your names, there's certain small things you can do to help remember. One, you can just say the name at the beginning. Someone says, "Hey, nice to meet you. My name is John." You say, "Hey, John, nice to meet you." You gotta show interest, because obviously you're not gonna remember something unless you're interested in it. And then you can use the same techniques. So maybe you can connect names. John Turbyfield. Maybe you can connect him with Porta Johns. Remember his name is John. Or Philip. You can imagine him with fat lips. Philip. So just, you find an image to connect with a name, and you're more likely to remember it. And again, there are many, many other methods to go about this. And it's something that you should definitely look up, and it's something that can help you immensely. So some really important concepts going along with memory is associate things with one another. Like I said earlier, when you go from one thing to the next, it's all easier to remember in a systematic way rather than just remembering a bunch of things out of order. Exaggerate. So obviously, if you remember, if you use an image of someone running, that wouldn't make as much of an impact as a dumbbell stuck in your neck. And it has to be visual. It's a lot easier to remember visual things in your head rather than some random word. So it's a lot easier to remember the word apple rather than the word day, because you can connect an image to that word. So if you're interested in any of this type of stuff, I know Kids Nap likes this too, but there's a guy named Scott Young who looks into a lot of this type of stuff. So he has a nice blog, and then there's a book that Colonel Davis has called Memory. That's great. Thank you.